Hello and welcome to the Wellbeing Services in South Glasgow. My name is Ros and I'm going to talk about goal planning and activity scheduling. There can be different reasons for your activity levels lowering or finding it difficult to set goals. If stressed or feeling overwhelmed, people can end up not feeling as if they can face doing something, or feeling so anxious and tired that they can't be bothered. For example, when people experience depression or low mood, their activity levels can reduce. This can be due to a number of reasons, including lack of motivation and energy levels. By reducing activity levels, this can lead to a vicious cycle. By withdrawing from activities, there is then also a loss of a sense of achievement and can further reduce low mood. Some examples of reduced activity can include withdrawal from social interactions, such as not seeing or not phoning or speaking to friends, avoidance of non-social activities, such as not taking on challenges and just sitting around the house doing nothing. Also avoidance by distraction, so instead, for example, spending a lot of time online or comfort eating. And finally, another example of reduced activity can be emotional avoidance, such as use of alcohol or other substances. Activity logs can be a helpful way of assessing your pattern of activity and setting goals, and can help to tackle avoidance or low activity levels. Try keeping a record of your activity and rate the level of pleasure and mastery or sense of achievement on a scale of 0 to 5. You can do this for a week, Monday to Sunday, recording through the day your activities and then rating pleasure and mastery next week's activity. This can then help you to do what we call activity scheduling. As once you have kept a log, it can be easier to identify what activities you wish to plan to do more of. Activity scheduling is a way of helping you to structure your day or your week with more activities that help your mood or your level of pleasure and mastery. However, there can be obstacles to this, such as putting off making changes, or putting off setting small goals. Also, negative thinking styles, such as procrastination or rumination, or low mood or energy levels can get in the way of activity scheduling. If you are indecisive or have a tendency to procrastinate, then it can be more difficult to get around to or to set goals. Planning ahead, therefore, can help with this. Goals can either be short, medium or long term, and they can be graded from easier to more difficult activities. Doing something small every day can help you feel a sense of achievement, and when considering what would be pleasurable or purposeful activity, you can rate it for how much mastery or pleasure you get from it, and also track your mood to see whether there is an association with certain activities with your mood being up or down. Planning pleasurable activities is recommended to help with low mood and lowered productivity and loss of pleasure. Some examples of activities you could plan to do could include having time to yourself, for example, if you're usually busy looking after other people, or going for a walk if this is something you used to enjoy but noticed you no longer do, or telephoning or FaceTiming a friend. Or another example could be an activity you get pleasure from, whether it's listening to music or reading or gardening or playing an instrument, depending on what your interest is. Activities are obviously individual and unique to each person and what situation you are in. You will want to make it relevant to you and your goals and what's important to you. Also, focus and consider what it is that you are avoiding, as there may be activities you need to do even if they aren't things that you particularly enjoy. When setting goals, you can use SMART goals as a way to set these out. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time limited. Firstly, specific. This is just trying to be clear about what it is that you're setting out to achieve. And then measurable is just making sure you'll know how you've achieved your goal, thus knowing how you can measure this. Achievable. This is ensuring that your goal is something within reach, and remember to start small and you can then build up gradually to more difficult goals. Realistic is considering whether you have everything you need to achieve your goal and thinking about any problems that you may encounter, and if so, how to resolve these. Finally, from the SMART goals, time limited or time efficient means setting a realistic time scale for achieving your goal, whether it's a week, a month, or longer. And also break it down into smaller steps if possible. Sometimes considering a ladder and what you want to do at each level can be helpful. So the things to remember in goal planning and activity scheduling is, firstly, make small changes at a time and then reward yourself for these. Incorporate changes into your routine so it makes it easier to remember to do these each day or week to week. And also consider using a timer or an alarm or a calendar. And finally, also consider what effect the changes have on your mood so you can track what things are most helpful to your mood. It's also recommended that along with activity scheduling or behavioural activation, consider your levels of exercise, healthy eating and sleep hygiene, as these are all things that can impact on being able to goal plan or activity schedule. If you need any further help with your mood, your sleep or thoughts, which make it more difficult to schedule activities or set goals, have a look at our other resources on low mood, thoughts and sleep, such as the Mood Matters course available online. Goodbye.